I like to start on this screen of the app because this is the purpose of Profila. It is all about you. If you think about it, everybody on this call, everybody in the world is marketed to based on inaccurate, inauthentic, poorly sourced data and a lot of guessing. And sometimes the guessing is very good, but it's also pretty unethical what they guess from, or observed behavior or tracking, so on and so forth. The hypothesis for Profila is, what if we let people build up the most accurate, authentic, and valuable information about themselves, much better than any data source that is out there in the markets, and allow them to completely control it, be the complete gatekeeper, and decide which brands have access to which information, and how they can be communicated with going forward. If we think about, I like to say that we'll look back and realize how stupid marketing is now, because it's, again, based on bad data, and it's based on lack of trust. Instead of a brand knowing me better based on my consent and not cluttering my world with offers that are not relevant for me, but only give me the offers that are relevant for what I want and what I've expressed that I want. So the core part of the Profila app is the My Profila part, which is your essentially your basic information, but also things like which languages you speak, and being able to tell a brand, hey, I prefer your French content, your addresses, and also your communication channels, and also your preferred channel as well. And this creates what we call a master preferences, which is mostly what brands subscribe to in terms of the personal information. But of course, I can actually override this for a specific brand if I have a different mailing address or that. But again, it's one single version of the truth. But where the real differentiation comes in is not just the basic demographics that are probably part of most data brokers. Once you get into the zero-party data, zero-party data is about people providing it consensually for a brand for their benefit only. And we've designed a system where we have about 40, 50 categories with self-discovery quizzes that allow individuals to answer questions about themselves. I think probably in everybody's internet experience, we like answering questions about ourselves. We like answering 10 questions and being told what Harry Potter house we live in, but there's no value for us. But the idea that, now again, this is women's fashion, so not specific to me, but the ability to answer questions about myself, my preferences, my sentiment, my opinions, and have that be something that a brand can subscribe to is just a better matchmaking and marketing, more efficient for them, more effective for me in terms of the wants and needs that I have. So we've got about 40 or 50 categories, a range of quizzes per. And when a brand subscribes to me, and that's a core concept here, is a brand subscribes to me, to my data, which I'll show you a subscription offer in a second here. They're going to be able to put me in much more targeted, accurate segments than they ever could before, based on guessing that they can do now, based on observed behavior and tracking. So that's really the secret sauce, is the ability to create micro targets for a brand and say, okay, well, we're a hotel brand opening an eco resort in Switzerland. What of our customers, what of our subscriptions are folks that are eco-conscious in their travel? That's information they couldn't get anyplace else, and it doesn't exist today. We have great ambitions of how categories will evolve in the future in a lot of different directions. We're very excited about the possibilities of this. The third part of my profile is essentially the sentiment. It's me being able to capture images, text, videos, and share them directly and privately with a brand, and something they can respond to. They can respond to with a special upsell or an offer, or just a problem I'm having that they can resolve in a private environment. And when we talk to brands, especially, for instance, talking with restaurants, they're exhausted by something like TripAdvisor because it's public performance. If somebody complains, they don't know if they're complaining to get a free meal or something, or if it's genuine. And something that's done in private is you're just going to have much more accurate and authentic feedback from individuals to brands. So that is the My Profila. That is the vault you are creating. That is the most accurate, authentic, and valuable information about yourself. And we'll be expanding this into more demographics or the ability to add a child profile so that I can get offers for children that I have with very little personal information, probably just the year of birth and the name, potentially for pets as well. So we have great ambitions for how this is going to evolve. But also, kind of a bit more stretch goal is the idea that, connecting something like Spotify, which is my observed behavior based on that is my data, but attaching that to my music category, which would then be even more robust. So it's based on explicit self-discovery quizzes, but also the observed behavior and services like Spotify. And that would make that music category so much more valuable to brands or concert venues that are trying to find if music that I like, if there's concerts in my area. So the possibilities are really endless, but the goal is to put individuals in control and do it in a very easy way. And really build up the trust, between individuals and brands, and let brands expand those relationships with better offers and better service and exclusive content. And essentially they're signing up for your loyalty program. The second part is relationships, and that is the brands. The model of Profila is that I can add a brand as a connection, even a brand that's not yet on the platform, and I can still do a couple things. I can assert a privacy right with them, which will route to the brand, or I can do what's called a shared moments, which I just showed, expressing any kind of sentiment in image, text, or video. But it's a vote. I'm voting for the brands that I want to join the platform, and this will be part of our business development. That's if 1,000 people have connected with Nike on the platform, why shouldn't Nike come on here with no risk and be able to interact with those 1,000 who have said, I'm interested in Nike, I want to be a better customer. When a brand then gets on the platform, they can subscribe to me. They can subscribe to my data. And actually I have, so these are brands, some of these are just fictional brands we've created for demos, but I actually have a subscription offer that I can show you. So if a brand decides to want to subscribe to me, or for instance, if they want to trigger a subscription offer for everybody who connects with them, this is what I would see. It would be a rundown of basically what information they want. So in this case, they only want my preference, email, and phone, the category information that they want. And sometimes these are individual answers to individual questions, for instance, allergies, but also it's the insights that are coming from these self-discovery quizzes. What kind of, how adventurous am I in my eating habits, or if I'm what kind of traveler I am to a travel company. So it's a combination of both, specific insights that are actionable by a brand. In this case, if I have a nut allergy, then next time I go to Puna Palace, they can accommodate that. They know that about me. But also the insights that are interpretations of this as well. The same that's done now, but again, this is based on the zero-party data that I've captured and I control. Also reminding me that I can share moments with this brand as well. As long as I tag them, then they will see that in the back end. And finally, the terms. And our business model is we split it. So this is a 1-year subscription, and we split the proceeds with the individual. And we're also planning on splitting ad revenue as well. So I can accept or reject. If I reject it, they do not have access to my data. Simple as that. And let me go to an existing one here. If I go into an existing brand that has a subscription for me, I can also, with 2 taps, cancel it. I wouldn't even know how to cancel a cookie on websites. These things you accept and then they're there forever and such. But our model is if a brand upsets you or it's just kind of the end of the relationship, you can cancel it and they lose access to that data. And there's no way back for them.